What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy Backpack Beats, back again with another video for you guys. This video is going to be a little bit different. Usually you see me on the beats, usually you see me on the DJing tip, but we're going to make some merch today. I'm going to show you my process on how I get everything done. Maybe you want to make something yourself if you feel inspired to do so. So without further ado, let's make merch. Let's get it.
No more free beats.
So like I said before, usually I'm on the beats, usually I'm DJing, but I also make all of my merch on nomorefreebeatz.com. So if you like the hoodie, if you like the hat, if you like what I'm wearing, make sure you cop some of that stuff over at nomorefreebeatz.com. We just dropped the basketball classic collection. We got jerseys, we got hoodies, we got stuff for the No More Free Beatz show. Got a whole bunch of fire, so definitely check it out. I got a couple of orders that I got to get out. Right here I got the black reflective hoodie that I got to get done. So I'm gonna show you my whole process of how I get my design from Photoshop or Illustrator onto my cutting software and then onto a hoodie. You'll see the whole process right here, so definitely check it out. All right, so on my hoodie, I have 3 different places where I put my design. I have a design on the front, I have a design on the back, and I also have a design on the sleeve. So I have 3 different designs that I gotta get cut and I gotta get pressed onto the hoodie. It's gonna be pretty fire. Pretty easy once you get the hang of it also, so here it is. All right, so I have one of my designs. This is the main design right here. I got the Backpack Beats basketball camp logo sitting right here. I made the design in Illustrator, but I just have a quick PNG right here that I put on here. So, this is what the design looks like. So I just go to Photoshop, and whenever I, get my PNG done, I'll just save as PNG. Super simple, and you put it into a folder. I'm super organized whenever it comes to my files, so all of my PNGs that I have for my shirts and everything else, I just put it in a folder. So just for the easy part, I'll just show one of the designs that I have on there, and then I'll just do everything else in a fast forward motion. Pretty simple. In the cutting software that I use the Silhouette software. I have a Silhouette Cameo 2, and I've been using this for a couple of years, and it hasn't done me wrong yet. So right here we have the Silhouette software right here. Really simple. I feel, a lot of people use Cricut, a lot of people use Silhouette. I'm a Silhouette guy. So, right here is just a representation of what the cutting mat looks like. Real cool. So what I do, I take that PNG that I had and I take it right in, drag and drop it over here. I usually make the design a little bit bigger, or what pretty much represents what the whole joint is going to look like, but it's cool either way. So, and if you're with the Silhouette software, it'll make sense whenever you get into it. So you can't trace a PNG or a JPEG or anything like that, so you have to get it traced to where it makes sense for the cutting software. So we're gonna do that real quick. So what we do, we go over to this little butterfly looking thing right here, click on that, we select our trace area just like that. And we want to select the entire area that we want to trace. Boom. And then whenever you see that, it'll turn yellow just like that. And whenever I come over here in this area right here, what the things that I've seen on YouTube, whenever I was looking at my YouTube tutorials, it usually tells you to take your threshold to 46. So I usually do that right there. And then whenever you mess with the threshold, you'll see whenever you make your adjustments here and there. So like, they're little small adjustments, but you'll see it. Let's see if I zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So you'll see it right there. It gets less and less detailed. So things that you see in yellow, those are what's going to be detailed. So it usually tells to leave it at 46. So I'm gonna leave it at 46. Boom. Everything else you can leave alone. Hit trace. Pow. And just like that, recognizes your logo. Boom. So I got it right there, and right now this is saying that it's 7.509 inches across and 7.241 inches high. What I need to do, I need to have this 11 inches across, so I just lock this so it keeps the ratio the same. And instead of the height being and instead of the width being 7.5, we're gonna make that width 11 inches. Bow. So just like that. Boom. Let me put some color on this so you guys can see it. out, just like that. Boom, and just like that, my logo's ready to cut for the most part. Whenever you're doing heat pressing, you need to make sure that your logo is reflective, because if it's not, your logo on your shirt is gonna be backwards. So you don't wanna do that. You're gonna waste vinyl and all that, and you don't wanna do that. So you make sure we flip it and we're good to go. So all you do, right click, flip horizontally, just like that, boom. And then anything that is in this box right here, that's what's gonna get cut. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to send this over to the machine. And that's it, real simple. All right, so now I'm getting ready to send this over to the Cameo and we're gonna get it cut. Be on our way. So whenever you're ready to do it, we go over here to send, boom. And see everything that is red right here, that's what's getting cut. So if I had this all the way over here, you see this A and the Z and all that stuff, yeah, none of that's getting cut. So we don't want that. So we're gonna make sure we get it cut right here. And the settings I have on my specific machine, I have my force at 10, I have my speed at 8, and then I have the auto blade also. So I have it at 5, but it always depends on, you know, your blade could be dull, your blade could be new. So, you know, just work with whatever you got, get it cut, and you're good to go. They say whenever you weed it, it should be smooth like butter. So we're gonna see how smooth it's gonna be whenever we get this thing cut. So let's get it cut, good to go, let's go. All right, so right here I'm getting my vinyl ready to get put on the cutting mat. Right there I got my Silhouette 12x12 cutting mat, a ruler, a picker, and an X-Acto knife. So I know my design is 11 inches across, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my vinyl ready to be 12x12 because I don't want to have a whole bunch of waste vinyl that I can't use. So I'll go ahead and get it as close as possible to how big it's gonna be on the mat. My go-to vinyl is usually Caesar Easy Weed, but right here I got some special reflective silver vinyl that I got from my local vinyl shop. I couldn't tell you what brand it is, but I know that it does wonders. I love it on my hoodies, I love it on my hats, and it's super fire. Also, whenever I'm doing designs like this, I know since I'm designing 3 different things, I try to fit as much on one mat as possible. So if I have 2 designs that I can fit on there, I'm going to go ahead and use it because that's less work that I have to do, and it makes the process a lot easier whenever I'm putting everything together. So right here I'm getting the cutting mat loaded into the Silhouette. My mat has seen better days when it comes to stickiness, but it still gets the job done. So I get it loaded, press start on the machine, and it gets to cutting. Now we just wait for a couple of minutes, and as soon as it's done, we'll be ready to get it weeded. Okay, I am back in the chair. This is my favorite part of the whole merch making process. It's called weeding. So right here, we just got our vinyl cut. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna weed out the stuff that we don't need. So you don't want this whole thing of vinyl on your merch. You just want to cut out what you need. So let's go ahead and get started with it. You need one of these right here. It's called a picker. It just, you know, picks up everything that you need right here. So also scissors. You need scissors also, because with me, I like to save as many scraps as possible, because along with doing shirts and stuff, I do hats, so any scrap works for me. And then, you know, I could mess up on like a letter or something like that, and I could use a small amount of space that I didn't use before to, you know, fill up that space instead of making a whole new thing for one letter, because that's a waste of money. We don't do that over here. So let's go ahead and get this stuff weeded out, and let's get to making the merch. Let's get it. Before I start any type of weeding, if I have any excess vinyl that wasn't cut that I can use, I definitely take out the paper cutter and get that, because I can definitely use that for any corrections that I might need to make, or I can use them for size tags or hats or anything small. So if it's something that you think you can save and use for later, definitely do that, because you'll definitely get a bang for your buck out of all of your vinyl. So right here I'm taking my scissors and my paper cutter. Go ahead and get all the excess that I don't need that I can use. That's a lot of good vinyl that can be used right there. Once I have everything cut, I take my trusty picker and I get to weeding. I'm taking out everything that I don't need. So if you have your settings correct on your Silhouette or whatever cutter machine that you're using, everything should be smooth like butter. So you see everything that I'm pulling and picking is the stuff that I don't need, and everything that I do need stays right there. I do have some designs that are a little bit more detailed than that, so the more detailed your designs are, the more time it takes for you to weed stuff out, especially stuff with letters. Those are my most annoying things to weed, but you know, my letters aren't that much, so it's not that bad. But once you get it, it's all good to go. And remember those scraps that we just put to the side? I used one of the scraps to make a size tag. So certain brands can have tearaway size tags on their merchandise. So I use that to put the personal brand on the inside. Makes it a lot better for the customer. So it's a lot of rinse and repeat when it comes to making heat transfer vinyl designs. It's just making the design, getting it ready to cut, weeding it out, pressing it down, and that's it. And just like a lot of things, it gets really easy the more times that you do it. So it's super dope. Check it out. Now's the part that we've all been waiting for. We finally get to make the merch. Right here I have a 15 by 15 heat press. I got it from Heat Press Nation. Shout out to them. Great customer service. So for my heat press vinyl, it's saying that I need to have it at 305 degrees for 15 seconds. So right here I'm getting my hoodie together while my heat press is warming up. I like to do mine upside down, kind of like a screen printing process right there. I like doing it this way also because my fingers are not getting close to that heat at all. Gotta remember that's 305 degrees is right there on top of your fingers. So if you hit that, it's a wrap. So we just wait for that to get to 305 degrees and we can get to pressing. So I give it a little 5-second pre-press just so we can get any of that moisture out of the garment, and then we're ready to go. I know 3 fingers is enough for me to give enough space for my logo to be on my hoodie and look great. You got to remember that time is money, so the more you can get used to eyeballing it and doing it correctly that way, you don't have to worry about using a T-square, wasting time, getting all your stuff done. So we letting this thing sit 305 degrees for 15 seconds, and as soon as it's done, we'll be able to get ready for the next part. And depending on the heat transfer vinyl that you're using, some might be hot peel, some might be cold peel. Mine is hot peel, so as soon as it comes off of the heat, I can take it off. With some vinyl is cold peel, and you gotta wait for it to get a little cool before you can take it off. So mine's hot peel, gets the job done a lot quicker. And then after I take the protective plastic off of it, I do use my Teflon sheet, press it for another 5 seconds just to make sure it's in there. And then once it comes up, the front of the hoodie will be done. Simple. So with the back of the hoodie, it's rinse and repeat, the same exact process. 305 for 15 seconds, line it up how you need it to be lined up, and that's it. You got yourself the back of the hoodie and it's done. With the sleeve, it's a little bit different of a process, but it's still the same flow. So since you want even pressure whenever you heat press, you use something called a Teflon pillow. It's a heat resistant pillow that puffs everything up that needs to be boosted up and gives everything an even amount of pressure. That way all of your letters aren't going to fall off because it didn't get the same amount of pressure. But with that, same process, rinse and repeat. Last but not least, we got to get that size tag done. So right here I'm ripping off the removable size tag, turn my hoodie inside out. Now we just got to put the size tag on there and this hoodie will be done. I did make a small mistake whenever I was heat pressing the size tag. With the Teflon pillow, I had to reduce some of that pressure that was on the heat press machine, and then I went to doing the size tag and didn't bring the pressure back up. So it didn't have enough pressure, so whenever I pressed it and tried to take the protective cover off, it didn't come off. So I just had to repress, put some more pressure on it, and we're good to go. Stuff like that happens all the time, so just be mindful and you'll be good to go. And just like that, this hoodie's done. Now we're gonna get it packaged up, get sent to the customer. A1 customer service. Let's get it. All right, and just like that, the merch is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this packaged up, get this sent out to my customer in the AM. A1 customer service. If you like the hoodie, if you like the merch I got on, make sure you go to nomorefreebeatz.com. We have that hoodie and we have a whole bunch of other merch and vibes there for the site. Definitely show love and I'll show love back. Make sure it gets to you. From me, yours truly, Backpack Beats. That's gonna do it for this video. I know it's not a typical video on my channel, so if you like what you see, like what you hear, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. We got nothing but good vibes over here, for sure. I'm back Thursday with a No More Free Beat show, so check it out for sure. And if you got any questions or anything like that, make sure you sound off in the comments. I'll be happy to answer anything to the best of my knowledge. I'm not heat press guru. This is just what gets by for me, and it makes my customers happy, so it makes me happy. Big shouts out to the people that I've always looked to on YouTube when it comes to this whole heat pressing merch. Shout out to T-Shirt Chick, shout out to Stan Bank, shout out to Reyes the entrepreneur, whole bunch of other people also. You'll see them in the highly recommended heat press videos anyway. So definitely check them out if you got any more questions. Like I said, sound off in the comments for sure. Just like every other video, backpack season, no more free beats, and I'm out. Appreciate y'all. Peace.